Similar to project number one, I just wanted to create a module or a place for you to begin thinking about your final presentation package for this project. It's helpful to be thinking about these things earlier and how you might be able to begin kind of laying the groundwork before it's last minute and it's Tuesday evening and you're rushing to get things done. It's always helpful to have an orderly system and an orderly file structure and creating easy ways for you to compile this work ahead of time so that it's not catching up on you last minute. So we're a week ahead of when this project's actually due, or sorry, this final presentation package is actually due, but helpful again to begin thinking about the work you might do ahead of time to make that final project presentation package that much easier. So this is just an overview of the project number two final presentation package. Like project number one, just sign off that you did this below, perhaps provide some additional context with some of the instructions. We'll go into it a little bit. So here, this video is going to live right here in project number two instructions. Just to kind of go over this, what's included in this module before we jump into the actual assignment or the actual requirements for project number two. Here just real quick. This video is a really nice video on how to create a killer UX portfolio with these pro tips. And so while we're actually creating a PDF presentation in this class, perhaps in a more advanced class we'd go into actually building your online portfolio and things like that. This video though maybe helps serve for you to maybe understand how the why behind why we're doing these presentation packages. Even though we're staying in kind of a PDF presentation, the things that you're doing now when we go to actually create an online portfolio or into a job application or interview will help set you up for success. It's why these final presentation packages from a UI UX design perspective are so important, because it will help you build those case studies. And so while all of these examples that are highlighted here and this video here and this article at the very end are focused on online portfolios, there's probably some great takeaways for you in those videos, in the examples that we have here on ways you can take inspiration from maybe how they set up each of the different deliverables that they've created, or providing context into what you were thinking behind creating the wireframes or the prototype, beyond just kind of saying I did this thing and here it is, and showing the actual screenshot. So from a UI UX hiring manager perspective, or from somebody who would be looking to hire a UI UX designer, seeing your thought process, seeing your your thinking behind these deliverables or behind the actual end product is so important, because as we've heard in some of the industry chats, UI UX designers are problem solvers. Graphic designers in general are problem solvers. We see something or a need in front of us and we try to find the most creative, usable way for somebody to consume the solution to that problem. And so hopefully these are helpful for you as kind of inspiration or ideas again on how you might, although they're online portfolios, include them back into your PDF here for our final project 2 presentation. Let me jump into where this is actually housed. So the actual presentation package is housed in week 10 on Tuesday evening. This is due. Now there's going to be some other things in week 10's module as it relates to segueing into project number 3. But project number 2's final milestone is highlighted here. So let me just go through what you can expect. So this is project number 2's presentation package, due 11:59 p.m. on 3/16. That's Tuesday, 3/16. Here is again worth 20 points, so 15% of your grade. So this is your final package. So there shouldn't be any incompleted work or incompleted examples here. This should be the final culmination of everything that you've done for project number 2. There's some videos that are going to be included here as we flesh this out. One that kind of goes into an overview of the package, again, the final package requirements, and some examples of project number 1's final presentation packages that I thought worked well. I've also got a video here that will be here about creating a lifelike mockup. So how can you maybe level up your presentation and showcase your work in its final intended deliverable, maybe on a laptop screen or desktop screen as somebody may be browsing. So just maybe a helpful add-on to the work that you're doing here in your final project number 2 presentation. So in this final project, again, due next Tuesday in this module here in week 10, is to compile your work from the previous 5 milestones. As we talked about, we've layered in new milestones, new deliverables for this project in way of IA mapping and the design system or style guide that you're creating. Weave those all together to tell a story of your efforts on this project. A good story plays a big role, as we've talked about, in the life of a UX designer, and in the presentation, it will serve as a great foundation for those job interviews, case studies, portfolio piece, etc. Leverage your previous work to craft a presentation that satisfies all the requirements here below. Definitely want to wish you all good luck. Great job on project number 1, its final package, and so hopefully y'all are old pros at this too. Your final file type is going to be a PDF. It's going to be in that widescreen format, 1920 by 1080 wide, that kind of landscape view. Your file name is going to be project2 _ final _ your initials .pdf. So mine would be rsf.pdf. File should include highlights from your work from project number 2, final visuals, and links to your final prototype from milestone number 5. So as you got peer feedback and feedback on your prototype, your link from InVision, any revisions or updates you need to make to that, make those and include that in your final presentation package for project number 2. So revisit also any work from previous milestones to include in your highlighted package. Think about the information that's provided below in the module this video sits in about creating case studies that could help push your work beyond just meeting these minimum requirements. Again, I think a lot of great examples and information shared in that pro tips video there. Your final project presentation should include the following. So it should include a title slide, introduction or overview of the project, any outcomes or your elevator pitch, summary statement, process examples like your mood board components, the IA map, wireframe, style guide components, the prototype example, and link to your final prototype in InVision. Also include any learnings and accomplishments, the top 3 things that are you're most proud of from this work, or the things that you learned, the things that kind of sell your work. Include that in your final presentation package as well. You're going to share your final PDF and the InVision link with 200 to 300 words explaining your outcomes from a project perspective and any key takeaways that you had. Again, remember to share your PDF and the InVision link. No late works accepted. That timestamp on your submission is going to be what's used to determine your submission when it was received. Don't edit your work after you've submitted it. That will show up as late work inside of Blackboard system. So anything submitted after that 11:59 p.m. deadline won't be accepted. And so please take this moment to maybe start thinking about your final, the other pieces of this that you've already created along the way. Begin to maybe take some time here and there over the next week or so to lay this out and begin kind of building your final presentation. So hopefully this was helpful. I just wanted to get you all thinking about this ahead of time. Again, this final presentation package will be due in this module on Tuesday 3/16 at 11:59 p.m. and then we'll segue into project number 3, where we'll focus on personas and defining our audience and getting a little bit more context before we go into our design, and then walking through how to build an app, clickable app prototype in InVision as well. So hopefully this is helpful to begin getting you thinking about your final presentation package a week early. By the time this is all posted, these videos will be available to you. And so nothing holding you back from getting started early. So looking forward to seeing what you do for your final presentation here, and excited to see the progress you all have made. So hopefully this is helpful. I'll talk to you later. Thanks.